If I told you that some of the most powerful medicine for your heart doesn't come in a bottle, but in tiny choices you almost ignore, would you believe me? Not a new surgery, not a breakthrough device, just the way you salt your food, the way you breathe when you're angry, the way you treat your own sleep like an afterthought or a priority. These little moves, the ones no one claps for, quietly decide the future of your blood pressure. We like to imagine transformation as something dramatic, a crisis, a hospital bed, a doctor's warning that shakes your world. But real change almost never starts there. It starts in ordinary kitchens, on slow walks after dinner, in small no's to stress and small yeses to your own life. Tiny adjustments that look like nothing from the outside, while inside your arteries, the story is completely different. Think of your heart as the most loyal worker you've ever had. Day and night, no breaks, no complaints, just beat after beat after beat. Blood pressure is the resistance that worker has to push against, like trying to water a garden through a hose that's slowly getting tighter. The tighter the hose, the harder the heart has to push. Most days, you don't feel that struggle, but your heart does, every minute. High blood pressure often doesn't hurt. It doesn't burn like acid reflux or ache like a broken bone. That's why they call it the silent killer. It quietly damages the inner lining of your blood vessels, wears down the delicate organs at the end of those vessels, your brain, your kidneys, your eyes, your heart itself. One day, it shows up as a stroke, a heart attack, a sudden emergency that seems to come out of nowhere. But here's the truth, no one announces with sirens. The same way small habits can slowly harm you, small habits can slowly heal you. You don't need to become a fitness model, a nutrition saint, or some perfect version of yourself. You only need to start shifting the little things, the ones you control, the ones that repeat every single day. Let's walk into your kitchen for a moment, like a camera gliding across the room. Look at the shelves, the fridge, the quiet army of packets and jars. One of the strongest forces pushing blood pressure upward is something almost invisible: sodium. The salt in your shaker, yes, but even more, the salt you never see. The one hidden inside packaged soups, instant noodles, frozen meals, processed meats, sauces, snacks. You don't have to throw everything away and start over with a perfect diet. That's not a little change, that's a crash, and crashes are hard to sustain. Instead, imagine just this: one salty snack a day swapped for something gentler. A handful of unsalted nuts instead of chips, fresh fruit instead of a bag of crisps, homemade popcorn with light seasoning instead of a heavy processed version. That's it, one swap repeated. Picture yourself standing in a grocery aisle, turning a package over. You look at the label, not as a scientist, just as someone who's curious. You notice the sodium number. You compare 2 sauces, 2 breads, 2 soups. You pick the one that's a little lower, not perfect, not zero, just lower. That moment of attention becomes one of your new medicines: quiet medicine, label reading medicine, choice medicine. Now imagine this: you cook at home one more time each week instead of ordering in. You reach for herbs, garlic, onion, lemon, pepper to build flavor instead of constantly relying on salt to wake up the dish. Suddenly, your meals still taste warm, rich, comforting, but there's less pressure in every bite. Every home-cooked meal becomes a small vote for your heart. Let's move from the kitchen to your glass. What fills it most days? Sugary drinks, sodas, endless refills of sweet tea, maybe high-sodium broths or energy drinks. Water sounds boring, like the healthy option we promise ourselves and then forget. But your blood is mostly water. Your heart is pumping fluid through those vessels. When you're dehydrated, your system compensates. When you flood your body with sugar instead of water, you create tiny storms. Again, it's not about perfection. Imagine one extra glass of water a day, just one. You place it on your desk, next to your bed, beside your plate. You sip slowly, instead of gulping only when you're thirsty. Over time, your blood volume is better regulated, your kidneys work more smoothly, your system doesn't have to fight as hard to maintain balance. Now shift the scene. You've eaten, you've drunk, and now you're doing what most of us do: sitting. Sitting at work, sitting in traffic, sitting in front of a screen. Your blood vessels are like quiet highways, and your blood cells are the cars. When there's movement, everything flows. When you barely move, things stagnate. The walls of those highways get stiffer, less forgiving. The idea of exercise scares a lot of people. They imagine cold gyms, complicated equipment, perfect bodies on posters. But your heart doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to show up. A 10-minute walk after lunch, a slow stroll after dinner, marching in place while you wait for the kettle to boil, walking up one extra flight of stairs instead of always taking the elevator. Tiny movements add up like spare change in a jar. 10 minutes a day becomes 70 in a week, 300 in a month. Each step nudges your blood vessels to stay flexible, teaches your system to handle pressure more gracefully. You don't need to run, you just need to refuse to stay completely still. That alone is a little change with a big impact. Now let's dim the lights and talk about something we often sacrifice first: sleep. We treat sleep like a luxury, something we cut when there's too much to do, too much to watch, too much to worry about. But your blood pressure listens to your nights. When you sleep deeply, your pressure naturally dips, giving your heart a break. When your sleep is short, shallow, constantly interrupted, that dip never really happens. You don't need to build a perfect night routine with candles and playlists and herbal teas, unless you enjoy that. Start with 15 minutes. 15 minutes earlier in bed. 15 minutes less on your phone at midnight. 15 minutes of darkness and quiet that your nervous system didn't get before. That's a little change. But your hormones, your heart rate, your blood pressure all notice that gift. Picture this. You decide that for the last half hour before sleep, there will be no news, no arguments, no stressful messages. You give your mind permission to land softly. A warm shower, a light stretch, slow breathing, or just silence in the dark. Over weeks, that pattern teaches your body that night is a safe time to unwind, and your blood pressure begins to respond, not because of one magical night, but because of many small, respectful ones. Now, we have to walk into a territory that lives inside your chest but doesn't show on any monitor: stress, the fight with someone you love, the tightness of bills, the fear for your future, the constant pressure to keep up, to perform, to not fall behind. When you're under stress, your body reacts as if it's facing danger, a wild animal, a battlefield. Your heart beats faster, your blood vessels constrict, your pressure climbs. You can't erase stress from life. You can't control traffic, the economy, other people's behavior, all the things that weigh on you. But you can create little islands of safety for your nervous system, tiny exits from the stress loop, small breaks where your body remembers how to relax even when your mind is busy. Try this picture. You're in the middle of a tense moment. You feel the anger, the anxiety, the frustration rising. Instead of exploding or swallowing it whole, you decide to give yourself 40 seconds. You close your eyes or look away from the screen. You inhale through your nose for 4 seconds, hold that breath for 4, then exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. Repeat it 3 times. That's not meditation on a mountain. That's not a retreat. That's 1 minute in your real life where you take back the steering wheel from your stress. Your heart rate slows. Your blood vessels stop tightening so fiercely. Your body hears the message, we are not in immediate danger. We can stand down. Do that once a day, then twice. That's a little change. A tiny rebellion against chronic stress. Another small but powerful shift: boundaries. Saying no when you want to say no. Not answering every message immediately. Not agreeing to every extra task, every favor, every request that drains you. Every time you protect your energy, you protect your heart. Mental stress acts like invisible hands squeezing your arteries. A single word, no, can sometimes loosen that grip. Now we move to a delicate subject: weight. Not from a place of shame, not from hatred of your own body, but from respect for the load your heart carries. Every extra kilogram of fat tissue needs blood flow. More tissue means more tiny vessels, more work, more pressure. You don't have to chase some ideal you see on social media. You only need to ask, can I make my body a slightly lighter place for my heart to live in? Little changes are key here too. Not a crash diet, not starving yourself, not punishing exercise. Maybe it's adding a fiber-rich vegetable to each meal. Maybe it's cutting down sugary drinks from daily to a few times a week. Maybe it's deciding that fast food is a treat for once in a while, not an everyday habit. A modest weight loss, even a few kilos, can ease blood pressure significantly. We also have to talk honestly about smoking and alcohol. Nicotine tightens blood vessels. Smoking damages their lining, making them stiffer, narrower, more fragile. Alcohol, especially in excess, can raise blood pressure over time and strain the liver and heart. If these are part of your life, changing them feels huge. But again, we look for little openings. Maybe you start by cutting one cigarette from your day, then two. Then you pause before each one and ask yourself, do I really want this? Or is it just habit? Maybe you move your first drink later in the week, then you have one less drink on social occasions, then you explore non-alcoholic options that don't make you feel left out. Every skipped cigarette, every skipped extra drink is a quiet gift to your arteries. There's another vital piece many people overlook: medication and monitoring. If a doctor has already prescribed you blood pressure medicine, those pills are little soldiers working on your side. Taking them regularly, as directed, is a small daily act that can prevent a massive future event. Skipping, guessing, or adjusting them on your own because you feel fine can undo years of protection. Imagine this routine. Each morning, you take your medication with a glass of water at the same time without negotiation. Once or twice a week, you sit down, breathe calmly, and check your blood pressure at home. You write the numbers in a small notebook or an app. No drama, no fear, just information. Over time, these readings become a story, a pattern you and your doctor can understand together. Here's another picture. You have an appointment coming up. Instead of going empty-handed, you bring that little log of readings. You ask questions. What do these numbers mean? How are my little changes helping? Is there something else I can adjust? That curiosity, that partnership with your healthcare team is a huge shift, but it starts with a simple habit: checking, recording, asking. Now let's step back and zoom out. Your life is not just numbers and habits, it's culture, family, traditions, memories. Maybe you come from a place where food is love, where salty, rich, heavy dishes are part of every celebration. Maybe tea with lots of sugar is how your family connects. Maybe long sitting gatherings are how you feel close to people. The goal isn't to erase that. The goal is to gently reshape it. You can still cook traditional dishes, but maybe you boil or grill instead of always frying. Maybe you start experimenting with herbs and spices to rely less on salt. Maybe you serve smaller portions of the richest foods and fill the table with more fruits, salads, or lighter sides. Imagine becoming the person in your family who quietly starts a new pattern. The one who suggests a short walk after a big meal. The one who brings a beautiful fresh salad to the gathering. The one who says, let's drink water first, before reaching for something sweeter. You don't preach, you don't lecture, you just live the little changes. Over time, other people notice. Sometimes they join. Then there's the story you tell yourself about who you are. I'm just like this. It runs in my family. I'm too busy to change. Those sentences sound harmless, but they carry weight. They become invisible walls that block you from trying. And yet, no one can see those walls except you. That also means no one but you can start opening little doors in them. What if instead of saying, I have to change everything, you said, I can change one thing today? One less pinch of salt, one extra glass of water, one short walk, one breathing break, one earlier bedtime. Little doors, little openings. You don't need to demolish the whole wall. You just need enough space to step through. Think about your future self for a moment. Not in a vague, distant way, really picture them. Imagine yourself 5, 10, 15 years from now. Maybe with more grey hair, maybe with grandchildren, maybe still traveling, still laughing, still working, still praying, still sharing meals. What do you want that version of you to feel in their body? Do you see them climbing stairs without gasping? Walking through a market without needing to stop every few steps? Holding a child without fear of chest pain? Sitting in a doctor's office and hearing, your pressure is under control. Keep doing what you're doing. Those moments don't come from one giant decision. They come from thousands of tiny ones. Every time you choose a little change, you're casting a vote for that future. Every time you decide, just this once, I'll do the kinder thing for my heart, you're writing a line in that future story. No one else can see these votes. No one else can count them. But your body keeps track. Your blood vessels remember. Your heart knows. You will not be perfect. There will be days when you overeat, oversalt, oversit, overscroll, overthink. There will be nights of poor sleep, moments of stress where you forget to breathe, weeks when your walks shrink or disappear. That's not failure, that's being human. What matters is what you do next. Instead of giving up, you can start again. You can say, okay, I lost my rhythm. Let me take one small step back toward it. A healthy life isn't a straight line. It's a dance. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, then forward again. Your blood pressure doesn't demand perfection. It responds to patterns, to trends, to what you do most of the time, not what happens on your worst day. So tonight, or today, whenever you hear these words, I want you to choose one little change. Not 10, not a full makeover one. Maybe it's deciding to walk for 10 minutes after dinner. Maybe it's moving your phone away from your bed. Maybe it's putting the salt shaker in a cabinet instead of on the table. Maybe it's taking your medicine at the same time every morning. No excuses. Write it down if you have to. Put it on a sticky note, on your fridge, your mirror, your lock screen. Today, I will make this one change for my heart. Let that be your promise. Not forever, not for a year, just for today. Then tomorrow, you can choose again. The power is in the repetition. One day, you'll look back and realize that these little decisions were not little at all. They were turning points disguised as ordinary moments. They were the reason your doctor looked at your chart and smiled. They were the reason you could dance at a wedding, carry your shopping, play with a child, walk without fear. The quiet work you did in the background became the reason your heart is still beating strong in the foreground. Your blood pressure is not your enemy. It's a message, a measurement of how hard your heart has to work to carry you through this life. With every breath, every step, every choice, you can help it. You can be its ally instead of its burden. You are not powerless. You never were. So take a deep breath with me now. Feel your chest rise, feel it fall. Remember that inside you, right now, your heart is listening. It doesn't need grand promises. It needs small, honest actions. Little changes, repeated, respected, protected. Keep nurturing those tiny shifts. Keep honoring that quiet effort, and your future self will thank you in ways you can't yet imagine. For more stories, more guidance, and more gentle power for your health, stay close. Walk this path with us, and let your next chapter begin here with Vital Dynasty.